All right, TechCrunch here with Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater, and he has an awesome iPhone app that he actually uses on stage, which is even better, that he's going to show the readers today. So, Jordan, let me see it.
I have two, actually. I have one that I'll be playing tonight, which is a modified version of Bebot. And then, as you see, it brings up the little keyboard wizard character, which is the cartoon version of me. And in this version of it, which is not released to the public, you can find Bebot, which is very similar. This version is pretty cool. If you turn on the sound, and turn up the octave, you hear it. It's actually multi-touch, so you can play chords. And if you go in the vertical position, you can control the volume and the tone of a sound, which is pretty cool. Turn up the octave. If you hit this little S button, you can slide around. Get really low here.
And you use this app on stage?
I use this app on stage. I do. It's a very expressive musical instrument. There's a lot you can do with it.
And this isn't on the App Store yet?
Bebot is on the App Store, but actually I'm talking to the developer. It's a very cool guy out in Australia, Russell Black, and we're working out a new version of Bebot, which should be very different and maybe a little bit more pro-oriented. And we're kind of talking about how that should be right now.
How much do you think it's going to be on the App Store?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question. $1 million, maybe?
$1 million.
It's going to be awesome, so it's going to be worth it.
And you just need to sell one.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's all we want is $1 in $1 million. So the other app that I'm currently selling on the iPhone store, which is the first app that actually has my name associated with it, which is a very important feature, that's called JR Hexatone Pro. It looks like this. And it's pretty awesome. It's a very innovative way to do sound sequencing. In its present form, it does some pretty cool stuff. Well, here's an example of a little pattern that we got going. This is more of a traditional pattern for hexatone, but what's cool is you could hit this little ST button, and that's my little stutter button, then you can start jamming with the thing. You could also add some chorus and delay to really mess it up. Well, what's fun is that you could shake it to clear it, so then it'll ask you very nicely if you want to clear it all. And you could literally hold your finger down on the center of what we call the 6 oscillators, and then this hexagon will start to populate with random assignments. And after you feel like it, you let go, you hit play, and it's totally a random pattern. Now what's cool about that is that, well, hopefully you got lucky and got something good, but you could go to the menu and you could say more and say randomize samples. And then it'll randomize the samples and bring in all new sounds. So when you hit play, it starts doing something very different. And there's over 400 samples, many of which I constructed myself. And I'm really proud of this. I think it's really, really cool. It's a neat way to do any kind of electronic music. It has a lot of randomness to it, which is very, very cool, and a lot of great sounds. So
and if I can remember, this one is $9.99 on the App Store.
Memory, yeah. It's JR Hexatone.
So I just had a couple of questions from, a musician's standpoint.
Sure.
What do you think of the App Store? Do you think, it's cool?
I am so excited about the App Store. I think it is one of the coolest things happening right now. I check it every day because it's just a great place to be. If you go Jordan Rudess on YouTube and type in the iPhone, you'll come up with all kinds of cool stuff with me playing with my toys. Everything from the Weavy band one where we're blowing into the iPhone and playing flutes, and I'm playing like a woodwind quartet that I wrote on there, to Looptastic, which I just did an entire collection for the guys who make Looptastic, where you can download if you buy their new Looptastic Gold. I've got a lot of ideas for the store. Very excited about it. There's so much great creative stuff going on there. It's kind of like, this is where all the real action is happening, And I really can't wait for the next level of multi-touch surface, because I think the future of electronic music is very much about that kind of environment, we were able to like stretch out and play on a multi-touch surface. I think the whole Bebot or Whizbot or whatever we're going to call it, the future is in that.
So besides Hexatone, of course, what is your favorite app?
Well, it's definitely at this point Bebot, or let's call it my custom version Whizbot.
Well, something besides that you've
Even
made.
that? Oh, I've got a lot of favorites. So there's so many great.
How many
great
pages do you
things
have?
Apps. There, it's totally full. I've been really enjoying playing with this cool one. It's called Music. It's from guys in Scotland that are doing some very creative things. You open it up, and it looks a little like this. And you've got these books that are actually sound generating books, and you can hold down a button and move this balloon. And as the balloon moves, it'll go through all kinds of interesting phasing and flanging. So what's really cool is you can open up a book, turn it on, and then you move these little creatures, and depending on the position, it'll play a different little groove. And if you open up the books again, and open up the bottom book, it'll change the number of repeats on each step. It'll do all the little retriggering. And it's just a very quick example of some real creativity.
Awesome.
I love Looptastic too. That's why I got involved in that whole world. There's other really cool ones as well, like the guitar one. It's just called Guitar. That's awesome. Yeah, there's some really great stuff. My head is spinning with this stuff, and I'm sure all of you are spinning too. This is a really cool one. This is a custom one. It's based on Elytron. This is the Jordan Rudess version of Elytron. It's kind of like my own Mellotron that has some of the pads and cool chordal sounds that I've made over the last few years in here.
Very cool. So I have to ask you, are you on
Yes.
Twitter?
Yes, I'm on Twitter.
Are you addicted yet?
Yeah, I am. I do YouTube videos all the time with the band. I have it linked up to Twitter, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you about different ways to connect it all.
So what's your Twitter name?
My Twitter name, JC Rudess.
JC Rudess.
Yes.
And then your site is, of course, Jordan Rudess.
JordanRudess.com.
And that's where they can get all the
And I have a
info.
MySpace and a Facebook and all these things.
Well, good luck with the show. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. Enjoy the show. See you.